right. My husband and I are pastors 3.5 hours north, so we're grateful to be here, friends of Sam and Michelle. Started listening to you in the summer of 2020, trying to navigate all the crazy. So enjoy the history. That's my background. We do have 4 young men from 21, that's the one in college, and then our youngest is 15. So leaning into you being a young man and just newly married in the last year, give them, these young people here, some advice on dating and marriage.
Terrific. Great. So first, I say this for young men, which is you need to take what you consume, the eyes. If the eyes the eyes are the light, I'm trying to paraphrase what Christ said. Basically, it's what you consume what ends up being what comes out. Pornography is destroying this generation. No one wants to say it out loud. It is Satan's great silent plot that the church doesn't want to talk about. Churches mention it here and there. It's more damaging than you could ever imagine. Okay? No one is above it. Almost every man has struggled with it, myself included. I've talked openly about that. Thankfully, there's victory in these stories, but it will completely and totally destroy your life. I know you might not have expected me to come out of the gates with that, but it's very important, and it's not about shame. It's not. I think the church has to reposition the way they talk about it, which is one of hope and a better life and a flourishing, and how you could break free from that kind of bondage. But it's a very, very real threat. So I'll talk about young men in particular. Most young men are a shadow of the man their grandfather used to be, literally. Testosterone rates are down 85% generation after generation. We need more young men to work with their hands, lift weights, eat red meat, be around other men, and do things that are dangerous and full of adventure. And one of the reasons why we've seen the decline of men in society is the hyper-feminization of our culture. I'll talk about that. Look, the feminine and the masculine are both important, but we've anchored way too far in the feminine direction, which has now really required women to become men and men to become women in this very perverse trick of the enemy. So in more application, men need to be challenged, and men need to be, let's say, teased towards adventure. Video games and staring at screens is not going to do it. Abraham needed to be called away from his father to go out and do, like, get off your tail and go do something meaningful, man. We have an entire generation of people that are the lost boys. They are grown infants, mostly men, okay? So get married early, date with the intent of marrying, save yourself for marriage, which is something I encourage everybody to do. The church needs to talk more openly about this. Which, of course, getting married early can solve a lot of those problems. One of the reasons I don't like college, amongst many others, most parents don't know this, you are sending your child into a hedonistic, pleasure-filled environment that will destroy their entire sexual worldview, that might be irreversible and will erode their dopamine receptors and their serotonin response to pleasure. Besides that, college is great. That's just like one of the things that college, you might say, Charlie, that's an overreaction. You know, most parents do not know that boys' dorms and girls' dorms are right next to each other. Most parents don't know that. They're right next to each other. What do you think is going to happen? We got a bunch of 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. Good luck. So, yeah, advice on dating. Men need to be very direct to women. Enough of this friend thing, okay? No, you tell women what you want and show them and lead them towards it. When I met my now wife, after about 30 minutes, I said, I want to date you. I don't want to be friends. I have enough friends. If you think I'm joking, you could go look at our marriage video. No one had ever talked to her that way because they were just used to these metrosexual, wannabe men that are just kind of wearing the skinny jeans and meandering around in life and not doing anything. They're like, well, maybe we'll do the friend thing for enough, right? Be a man, tell them what you want, and lead them towards it. Now, why is it that men can't find women and vice versa? Well, women put career first. Awful, terrible, stupid, dumb, not fulfilling. You'll be really miserable. Girls go to college now to go become corporate bosses. You'll be miserable in your early 30s, probably. No one wants to say that out loud, but it's true. I deal with it. They listen to my podcast. They're like, I wish I would have gotten married earlier. I know, but at least you're a partner at some law firm, right? You have a dog, right? But and it's all the clinical data shows antidepressants, Prozac, benzodiazepines are increasing huge for women in their early 30s with declining egg production and all of that. But women search for one thing in men more than anything else, and they cannot find it. Not just leadership, not just courage, it's self-control. This is the least self-controlled male generation in history because we've told them, do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. Young ladies come to me and they say, look, I can deal with the beta male thing. I can deal with all that. What I can't deal with is that they can't control their impulses. They drink at a whim. They watch what they want to watch. that is the most serious problem. So for men to be raised up as men, it's a fruit of the Spirit, by the way, self-control. If you want to find yourself desirable to women, show that you could control your impulses. It will put you above the rest. And so, that was probably provocative enough. Thank you for the question. I appreciate it.